At some point in each of our lives, we're going to need a miracle. And the great news is that God is still doing miracles today. And every day holds the possibility of a miracle. But one thing I know for sure is if you need a miracle, you need to know how important it is, how vital it is that you have a miracle mindset. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So what is a miracle mindset? Well, number one, a miracle mindset believes that God can do anything. Now, let's look at a story in the Bible that'll help us out with this point. It's found in John, and I'll just summarize the story. There was a man who'd been an invalid, paralyzed for 38 years. And Jesus came by and saw the man lying there. And he asked him a question, "Do you want to get well?" When the man answered, he said, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water's stirring. While I'm trying to get down there, someone else goes ahead of me and gets their miracle." Jesus looked at the man and he said, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." And the scripture says at once the man got up and he walked. A great story, a great miracle. But I want to break this down for you a little bit. Jesus asked that man a simple question. Do you want to get well? Now what's interesting is that instead of the man saying, "Yes, heal me," he gave every reason why he was still in the same place that he'd been for 38 years. I have no one to help me. Someone always gets there ahead of me. They get their miracle before I do. Now listen to this. All along that man had access to the miracle. He just didn't believe it would ever happen to him. And I have this feeling he probably even stopped trying to get in those waters. He might have had the attitude, "I can't get down there on my own. I've been doing the same thing for 38 years. Why would God do anything for me now?" And I think it's safe to say he accepted his circumstances and the fact that he'd probably never have anything change for him. And yet his miracle was staring at him in the face and he couldn't see it. He was in the right place, but in the wrong frame of mind. He was so focused on the problem, he couldn't see the solution. See, to have a miracle mindset, you have to believe that God can and will come through for you. You can't focus on the circumstances. You can't focus on the problems or the excuses. A miracle mindset doesn't get addicted to having a problem. Oh man, that's good, y'all. See, that man's whole identity was based on a problem of how he couldn't make it to the water. Secondly, a miracle mindset trusts that God's way is the best way. And another story in the Bible is about the king of the Syrian army, Naaman. He was highly respected. He came down with leprosy. He was told to go to the prophet, and the prophet would show him how to be healed. So that's exactly what he did. But when Naaman encountered the prophet, everything went wrong. The prophet didn't come down. He sent his messenger to come down and tell him to go dip in the Jordan River 7 times. Now, Naaman thought he was better than that. The Jordan River was filthy. He didn't like that the prophet didn't come down and pray for him, but he sent his messenger. He didn't like instructions to go dip into the filthiest river ever. Listen, Naaman almost missed his miracle because of his attitude. He was in the right place, but in the wrong frame of mind. His mind was filled with the way he thought it should be done. Listen, if you need a miracle, don't let your plans and the way you think things should be done to cause you to miss your miracle. Y'all, we've all been guilty of this. You can be in the right place and in the wrong frame of mind and miss your miracle. You got to trust that God knows what he's doing. And then thirdly, a miracle mindset is expectant. It's expecting God to do something on your behalf, expecting things to change for the better. A miracle mindset is proactive. In other words, it's looking for your miracle every single day, like the prodigal father. I just believe every single day he was looking for his son because the scripture said when the son was a long way off, his father saw him. Are you looking for your miracle? Are you proactive? Number 4, a miracle mindset is faith-filled. It's in essence saying, if God said it, he's going to do it. I believe God is going to come through for me. I know I believed and believed and believed for years, but you know what? I just believe that God is faithful to his word. He's faithful to his promises. You know, I saw this in my own life at a time when I needed to transition and do something different with my life. I prayed and I said, God, I need you to show me my next place. I need you to open new doors for me and take me to places I've never been before. Opportunity came out of the blue for me, or so I thought. I received a phone call that was something new and something interesting, something I'd never done before. And honestly, I was honored to be asked, but I was scared and I didn't feel qualified. My mind gave me every reason I couldn't do it. But thank God for some reason, when the opportunity was offered, I said yes. And I was mortified that I said yes. And when I hung up the phone, I thought, what in the world have I done? And then I remembered my prayer. My miracle was staring me in the face, and I just couldn't see it. I was in the right place to receive my miracle, but in the wrong mindset. And had I allowed fear to win, I would have missed what God clearly had lined up for my life. See, folks, you got to be careful what you pray for, because God just might give it to you, and it probably won't be the way you expect it. I can vouch for that for sure. See, God has a million ways of bringing your miracle to you, so don't allow fear or circumstances to cause you to lose sight of it. Be open to God bringing your miracle in a new way that you've never dreamed of. Look for that miracle every single day. Take on that miracle mindset. But here's a caveat. Don't get so busy looking for the big thing that you miss what God is sending your way. Now, I know you've heard the story about the man who was on his rooftop because a flood was in his area. And he prayed out to God, help me, God, save me. And a man in a rowboat came by and he told the man to jump in. He would save him. And that man on the rooftop said, no, it's okay. I'm praying to God and he's going to save me. Then a motorboat came by and the person in the motorboat told him the same thing. Jump in, I can save you. But the man on the rooftop said, no, thanks. I'm praying to God and he's going to save me. I have faith. Then finally, a helicopter came by and the pilot shouted down, grab this rope and I'll lift you to safety. That man refused the helicopter. He said, no, I'm believing God. He's going to save me. Long story short, the water rose above the rooftop and the man drowned. He went to heaven and he finally got his chance to discuss this whole situation with God. And he said, God, I had faith in you, but you didn't save me. You let me drown. I don't understand why. God simply said, I sent you a rowboat and a motorboat and a helicopter. What more did you expect? Listen, that just tells me we need to not get so busy looking for the big thing on your way to receiving your miracle that you miss the rowboat, the motorboat, and the helicopter. Again, God has a million ways of bringing about your miracle. Take on that miracle mindset. Let God be God and be open to how He wants to do things in your life. Stay expectant, stay proactive, stay faith-filled, and stay filled with hope. And don't miss your miracle. I hope you've enjoyed it today, and if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do that today. Hey, check below for an event that we have coming up on April the 12th. My mom, sister, and brother, Dodie Osteen, Lisa Osteen Comas, and Joel Osteen will all be there for this one-night experience in Grapevine, Texas. You can get your tickets below, and until next time, I hope you have an amazing day.